Hello and welcome. I'm Jerry Middleton, senior referee with the Pro Active Officiating group. If you're watching this video, that means you've signed up to take the next step in your officiating career to start refereeing minor league pro basketball. And welcome again. And we're going to talk about a few things. This is an identification camp. So with that being said, we will be identifying people to bring on staff in the several pro leagues that we work, and then also some college stuff possibly, and then there's all kinds of opportunities during the summer with AAU and all that around the country. Now, most of the games will be like 10-minute running clocks. It'll be a game. So basically you'll get to work for 10 minutes, and then you'll switch off, talk to a clinician. Now the clinicians, this might be some of the better clinicians you'll ever get, because we've got people who have worked in the past NBA games. We've got people who have worked multiple championships in the, as I refer to them, the alphabet leagues. And so, as you can see, you've got a good base to ask questions, and that's what you want to do. You want to ask questions. That's what we're here for. We want to help you move to the next level. If it might be from JV to varsity, and that's what you want to do, that's fine. We want to help. If you want to go from working JV basketball to the NBA, we want to help. And we have got people working in the NBA right now that started off in our programs. So, we're not going to worry about substitutions here because it takes too much time. We're not going to worry about them at the thing. We also, you're going to be placed on crews, and the crews will hopefully have one of the Pro Active Officiating staff members working with you. If not, there'll be 3 of you, and get that, and you just take some time and do some pregame and get yourself put together. Now, you won't find the mechanics for NBA or the case book online. However, you can find the rule book. You can go to nba.com/official, and you can pull it up there. And it'd be good to come in with a working idea of what pro basketball is. That will put you a step ahead of somebody else who's not. Now, I will say this. When you come, we want you to referee. Don't get all hung up on mechanics of, that was my hand here, is my hand here, and all that. Don't get hung up in that, because sometimes we get hung up in that and we don't referee. And we can train you for everything else, but it's hard to train you how to referee. Either you can or you can't. Hopefully that makes sense. So, with that being said, let's start here a little bit with some three-point shot coverage. Basically, we got lead and a trail and a slot. We won't worry about which table side here for right now. We can see that the lead has basically this area here. So if a shot comes up from here, the lead should mark with her outside hand as such, marking it was a three-point shot. If it goes in, the trail is going to signal as such. The slot will not mirror the good 3 or this on this type of shot. Now, if our shot comes from out in here, the trail is going to go here, and then here if it goes. And then the slot, if we have a shot from over here, then the slot will mirror here, and then up on the score, not up, no dot on the score. Only the trail scores. So the slot is going to just mark, and when it goes in, we want to take a peek and make sure that the trail has in fact scored it, and when that happens, we just drop our arm. All right? So we got our coverage down here. Our coverage area is how it's balanced out. These are our primaries. Now, let's get into rotations. Let's talk rotations. Say we're just set up like this, and the ball comes down the floor and settles here. Well, we want to make sure that we get over here and obviously down and maintain our look here. May have to go here. Once again, trying to stay from working out onto the floor if at all possible, because you will get ran over. So what I'm talking about is, generally speaking, we want to try to keep 2 officials ball side. Now, that's not necessarily a rule. It's what we would like to do. When you think about 24 seconds, time they cross midcourt, you're probably at 19 or 18. Time the ball settles, you're probably about 14. Time you get over there, you're down to about 12. So as you can see, most times you're going to have 1 rotation. 1 rotation is basically what we'll have. And hopefully, I mean, this is pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory of what we're doing. All right, now let's get into the fun part. Let's make ourselves, we'll have the table over here. Here's our table side. Now, let's get into switches. Excuse me. Dead ball. League calls a foul here. And we'll say this is non-shooting. So as a non-shooting foul, the lead is going to come here, and as we're moving, we want to be reporting here. Now, pro basketball, we do not say the color. We just go, boop, coming out, 22, 2 shots, and a signal of what happened. And so in the meantime, as he's coming out, the slot is coming over, the trail becomes slot, and then the person that called the foul will inbound the ball, free throw line extended. So let's go over that again. Non-shooting foul. Lead makes a foul call here. Lead's going to come this way to report. Trail's going there, slot's going here. It's like the merry-go-round. Then the ball will be put in play on table side on this free throw line extended. Not down in here or on the baseline or anything to that effect. All right? So, a rule of thumb is that when you have a foul and you've called it, and it's a non-shooting foul, 99% of the time in the front court, you will inbound the basketball and you'll become the trail. There's always an exception. In the back court becomes exceptions, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. So, now let's say that we have here a foul. Now we're going to shoot. It's a shooting foul. So the lead is going to once again come out here, and everybody does this all over again. Pretty simple. Okay? So let's switch it up a little bit here. And let's have Let's put lead over here, opposite table. Now we'll have trail, and now we'll have our slot. And terminology is lead, trail, slot, not center. If you want to impress somebody, use the word slot. Okay, so let's say we have a foul here, non-shooting. All right? You're going to come, boop, 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 reporting, and then you're going to go over here and inbound the ball, free throw line extended. In the meantime, your slot is heading this way and the trail across to become the slot. Hopefully that was an easy one. Now, let's have a shooting foul in this situation. Then in the shooting foul, the lead's going to come across here and report. Camp out about the 28-foot mark. Our slot is going to go down and administer. And our trail, this is the easy one, is going to take 2 steps down and become our slot. Okay, let's do this again. Shooting foul. Lead calls. Come across, report, slot goes here, and the trail slides down the slot. This is the one exception to the merry-go-round that we would be on. All right. So those are our fouls by the lead. Okay, now let's say trail has a foul right here. He's going to call it, going to take about 1 or 2 steps out, signal, step back, and inbound the ball straight across where the foul occurred. Unless, remember something here, in pro basketball, the ball is everything. So if this out here would have happened to have been an off-ball foul by the defense, not an away from the play foul, we won't get into that today, but if you're looking at your rule book, that's something to take a peek at. So let's say if the ball was here and we had a foul out here, well then the ball would be inbounded, free throw line extended, because it's where the ball was at the time of the foul. Not like in high school where it's at where the foul occurred. So if it's where if the ball was here, we had a foul, then it's just going to come straight out. I hope that's easy for everybody. And then if we have a shooting foul out here, then obviously the trail's going to slide over and report. The slot goes down to here to administer, and leads comes up and becomes the slot. If you got any questions, you can always email me, and I'll write my email address up here at the end of the day, and you can shoot me an email, and I'll be more than happy to reply back, because I'm sure I'm not going to get everything, just the gist of it all. All right, so now let's talk backcourt on the switches. And we'll call this our baseline, and we'll be going this direction. So let's say we have be our trail, our lead, and our slot. Pretty much no matter what happens, we're just doing this. We're going to slide down. if we're going to the other end to shoot free throws, we're just going to go like this. So lead's still going to be lead, trail's still going to be trail, and slot's still going to be slot. Remember, any foul is going to go to a sideline, never lower than the free throw line extended. If we have a violation, let's say the ball goes out of bounds here, then trail's just going to come up, inbound it, and everybody just slides. If we have a ball goes out of bounds here, then trail's coming over, and then they'll go on down, and we'll hold. Sort of like fill in the hole. Backcourt stuff, pretty easy. Just look at each other, and nobody else will know what's going on anyway, so if you mess one up, you mess it up. But just fill in the hole, make it look good. And the backcourt's the easiest stuff. Now, when we talk about where does the ball go, out of bounds, violations, timeout. All right, so let's get back to our half court here. I'm quite the artist, Bob Ross I am. So and here's our setup for the moment. So let's say that we have a traveling violation right here. Traveling violation will come up to the free throw line extended, and lead's going to come over and administer that, become the trail. All right. Ball goes out of bounds here. It's knocked out of bounds, and we're going to go the other direction. The ball will come in bounds here. Even if we're staying, the ball will come in bounds here. If the ball physically goes out of bounds on the baseline, that's where it's going to stay. Let's say we have a kick ball. Well, that's a violation. So if it's it doesn't matter if it's offense or defense, it's going to come up to the free throw line extended is where that's going to come into play. If a ball goes out of bounds here, lead's going to come over and bounce that ball. Now the big thing about lead, anytime lead administers a throw in, we need a whistle. So we need a boop and bounce the ball to them and to get that going. We got 5 times that the ball will stay here on the baseline, will be inbounded on the baseline. If it goes out on the baseline, a throw-in violation, which means they stepped over the line, a kicked ball on the throw-in would go back to there. It would not come up to here. The ball goes over the backboard. And does not go through the tunnel. And the tunnel is if you took the basket like this and went back, that's called the tunnel. So if the ball would hit and go over the rim and land out here, it didn't go through the tunnel, so it's going to go in bounds here. If it goes here and goes through the tunnel, it's coming to the side. Be a sideline throw-in. I hope that wasn't too confusing. So basically, the ball can go over the backboard and be out of bounds here. If it goes over behind the tunnel, goes through the tunnel, then it's going to be here. It'd be on the side, I'm sorry. On the side if it goes through the tunnel. On the 8-second backcourt count, the magic number is 15. We judge everything off the shot clocks. So it'll be our magic number on the shot clock will be 15. We have no visible count. In the backcourt coming up, we run everything off of the shot clock. Also, we have no closely guarded, so there's no closely guarded counts. When a shot hits the rim, then that's a reset to 14 if the offense retains possession. If the defense gains possession, then it's a 24. Second reset. Now, a foul, a non-shooting foul below 14 goes to 14. So if you have a foul at 5 seconds, it's a non-shooting foul, it's going to go to 14 seconds if the offense is retaining possession of the basketball. A kick ball below 14 would go to 14 if we're in the front court. Now, in the back court, there's a whole different world. A foul committed in the back court is a new 24 second. A kick ball in the back court is a new 24 second. Now, one thing I want to be talk about here real quick, we'll say this is the back court, is if we have a foul right here, that's in the back court. So that ball should be inbounded here. Ramifications is new 24. If we put the ball in play here, it should be whatever the shot clock had on it, and let's say that was 17. So as you can see, by us putting the ball in play in the wrong place or not gaining a recognition of where the ball should have been put or where the foul happened, we could cost the team 7 seconds. And late in a ball game, that's an eternity in pro basketball. Talk real quick here about free throws. Okay, make this free throw lane a lot bigger. I don't need to worry about the arc at this point. So the free throw lane okay, pro basketball, we occupy the low spot, which is going to be here. So you're going to have defense, defense, offense, offense. This is your bare minimum that you have to have in the lane, 2 and 2. A third defender is allowed, and he can be at either side. It does not matter. Now, the free throw shooter is here. And then we'll do a quick arc out here. Once again, fine artwork. And let's say we have an offensive player here and a defensive player here. When he releases this free throw, there are no restrictions on anybody with the exception of the free throw shooter. The free throw shooter cannot leave until that ball has hit the rim. This person can come in just as soon as, and this one here can come in as soon as the ball is released. Now, what is a free throw lane violation? Good question. Nothing happens until the ball is released. So if a player would happen to step in while he has the ball, step back out, and then they release it, Were they legal at the shot? Yes. So there's no violation on that. Another one is, say we have a defender here, and you bounce the ball, and the defender goes, oh, I don't want to be in here, and they run out. And so they get outside the arc, past the free throw line extended, before they release the ball. Is that legal? Yes. Because they are legally in a spot at the time of the release. Now, if one of these bottom two people did, that's a different story. So if you have an offensive player standing in the lane when the ball's released, and they were there before it was released, then that's a violation on the offense. And the same thing on the defense if they were in there prior to the ball being released and remained in there and did not become legal before the ball was released. So, on that. I hope this has been a little bit of a help to you. You can always email me. I mean, this is very fast. Hopefully this answers some questions. We'll go over this at camp also. But if you have any questions, you can send it to J. Middleton at nws.k12.in.us. And I think that's about a wrap, and we'll see you at camp.